Welcome everyone to our conversation on the latest innovations in decentralized governance. Today we delve into the realm of DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, which are really reshaping how we think about organizational control.
Yeah, absolutely. DAOs are essentially these groups that run on smart contracts with community-driven governance. It's a whole new way of organizational thinking, right?
Exactly, it's like setting up an entire corporation without a central authority, just rules encoded
right.
on a blockchain. The idea originally took off around the time Bitcoin's white paper redefined how we transfer value.
And then it evolved over time, especially with the emergence of Ethereum, which made smart contracts really accessible.
Yep, absolutely. So, these DAOs work by deploying smart contracts that establish all the rules. That means anyone can come in, audit the contracts, and understand exactly how the organization operates.
And then there's the treasury mechanism, right? DAO funding is managed through token issuance, which gives token holders the power to vote on proposals.
Exactly. The tokens act like voting shares. But what's really fascinating is how these governance models differ across various DAOs. Take Constitution DAO, for instance.
Oh, definitely. That one really grabbed a lot of attention when people pooled resources to try and buy a copy of the United States Constitution using cryptocurrency.
Yep, Constitution DAO is a great example. It started as an effort where dollars and crypto flowed together, but it ended up just a bit short in its final bid. They actually had to refund contributors, which tells us a lot about the learning curve here.
That refund move, though, highlights a built-in democratic aspect. If the goal isn't met, everyone gets their money back, except for those who kept tokens as governance proof.
Absolutely. It's a neat mechanism to ensure trust among participants. Moving on, another interesting model is the Ethereum Name Service DAO.
Right? The ENS DAO is like an evolution of the initial airdrop mechanism. They set up a system where registering an Ethereum domain gives, what did they call it? An ENS token.
Exactly. And these tokens not only provide domain ownership, but also grant voting rights in a kind of three-tiered proposal system. They start proposals on forums and Discord before moving them to formal votes on Snapshot.
It's kind of a hybrid model, right? Integrating both informal community discussions and formal voting processes.
Yeah, it's like an innovative mix, though, to be honest. It's also a bit slow and convoluted at times.
I agree.
It really takes time to reach consensus in that layered manner.
Speaking of layered approaches, have you looked at the Friends with Benefits DAO?
Oh, absolutely. FWB is interesting because it brings together a community of artists, thinkers, and innovators. It started from a pure consensus model and then evolved into a more segmented multi-group structure using Discord, formal papers, and Snapshot for decision-making.
Right, that's pretty dynamic. And the FWB token, with its fixed supply, really creates scarcity, which adds a layer of exclusivity, right?
Exactly. And it drives not just governance, but also access to unique experiences. A bit like a VIP pass in the digital realm.
It's so cool how these tokens aren't just about governance, but also serve as a connection to a broader community experience.
Yep, and then there's Juicebox DAO, which is a whole different beast altogether.
For sure. Juicebox DAO simplifies fundraising by letting projects raise funds using public smart contracts on Ethereum. It's like a fundraising toolbox where the complexity of treasury management is drastically abstracted away.
Yeah, that's spot on. Right? They handle the fundraising setup from creating a page to distributing tokens and managing funds with a fixed 5% fee on raised funds. It's designed to take that really heavy lifting out of the equation.
But don't you think that taking 5% might be a bit steep for some projects? I mean, while it simplifies the process, that fee could add up, right?
That's a valid point. It does mean that every project has to factor that cost in, especially smaller ones. Still, you could argue that the simplicity and reliability Juicebox DAO provides might justify that fee.
True enough. It's all a trade-off, I suppose. Now, shifting a bit, what do you think about the future of DAOs in the regulatory landscape?
Oh, that's a big one. The regulatory environment is still a bit murky for DAOs. For instance, in 2017, the SEC cracked down on some aspects of DAO operations by calling them unregistered securities.
Yes, I recall that happened. And then Wyoming stepped in with legal recognition, which was a pivotal move.
Correct. Wyoming was the first U.S. state to formally recognize DAOs as legal entities, opening a path for decentralized organizations to function more like traditional corporations
Definitely a turning
without that
point.
centralized control.
But at the same time, the risk remains for those who interface with traditional financial systems. The interplay between decentralization and regulatory compliance is a tricky dance.
Exactly. And that balance is what will determine whether DAOs continue to grow on a large scale or face severe limitations from legislation.
It really hinges on whether the decentralized structure can prove efficient and secure without traditional oversight, right?
Yep, you're right. And I think one of the highlights of DAO governance is that they let economic decisions be validated in a transparent and quantified way. This provides an inherent trust-building mechanism.
Nonetheless, I sometimes wonder if the inherent complexity of these governance models could alienate people who are new to the space. There's quite a bit of jargon and process.
That's a fair critique. It can definitely seem intimidating at first.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
guides and examples, like we've been discussing, Constitution DAO, ENS, FWB, and Juicebox DAO, help break it down into more digestible parts.
True, and they each highlight different facets of what DAO governance is capable of, from asset acquisition to community building and fundraising.
Exactly. And they showcase how decentralized governance is not a one-size-fits-all model, but rather a spectrum with varying levels of formality, centralization, and innovation.
That's the beauty of it. It's compelling to see technology challenging traditional corporate structures, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's like watching a revolution in organizational design. Incremental steps that could eventually redefine accountability and participation in global finance.
And with that, I suppose the journey is just beginning. These models are continuously evolving as more people get involved and experiment with new approaches to decentralized power.
Absolutely. The future of DAOs is promising and filled with potential, but also a landscape that needs to be navigated carefully with regulatory and practical challenges in mind.
Totally agree. Well, this discussion sure opened up a lot of perspectives on DAO governance. It's amazing how far decentralized models have come and how they're shaping the future of organization and finance.
Exactly. And it's a reminder that sometimes the most radical ideas in tech actually stem from seeking a better, more democratic way to manage shared resources.
Right on. And whether it's buying a piece of history, registering an Ethereum name, or streamlining fundraising, each model reflects a unique approach to solving real-world problems through decentralization.
Yep, indeed. It's a fascinating time for innovation in governance, and I'm excited to see how these experiments evolve over the coming years.
Absolutely. Definitely. Well, thanks for this deep dive into DAO governance models. It's been an enlightening chat about the intersections of tech, finance, and community-driven governance.
My pleasure. Let's keep our eyes on this space, as it's only going to grow more interesting. Until next time, take care.